there are rare cases where you can get an animal sanctuary that sells the eggs of the animals they've rescued. Now, chickens, ducks, etc., they only eat their eggs when they're malnourished. I've come across vegans that have begun eating eggs again because they realise that when they've rescued chickens, that the chickens don't actually eat their eggs, so it becomes waste. It's a waste product. Some vegans argue this is theft because it's their egg. Does the chicken care? Is the chicken making ornaments out of the eggs? Are the chickens missing the eggs? Or does it just rot like a waste product? It's chicken's menstruation. So I mean, it's like saying picking up dog poo is theft. How's it much different, really? So if you can, if you can get a chicken's egg or a duck's egg from a sanctuary, not a farm, there's a difference because then it can become exploitation. Animals can be artificially inseminated, etc. But if there's no exploitation or harm to come to the animal, then who's to say it's not by part of the definition vegan? Because isn't the most important thing not to harm? And on top of that, when you look at the vegan definition from the Vegan Society, so the first half of it says to avoid exploitation and abuse to animals as practically possible. As practically possible. The second half of the definition says to avoid animal products as much as possible. But then, can't that contradict the first half? Because if you can get something without exploitation, if you get something without exploitation or causing harm, why would you need to avoid them? And secondly, for example, I was fully vegan 10 years, always had a craving for eggs every now and then. Now, every now and then, when I get the craving, I eat duck eggs from a local animal sanctuary. Because why not? It's giving financial support to the sanctuary. It feeds it helps with that craving, and there's no exploitation done. So why not? And I feel a bit healthier for it, in all honesty. I know you got all these studies, um, mainly from nutritionfacts.org, Dr. Greger, but I don't trust everything of him. I mean, he promoted the vaccines, he promoted wearing a mask, social distance, all this nonsense. And sure, you could argue social distancing and all that stuff helped. The mask, no. Dr. Fauci from the World Health Organization, he released studies in 2014 saying that wearing a mask can cause pneumonia because the bacteria in the mask coming out your breath and your saliva and everything else, and you got that on your face. It's like having a tissue on your face. Gross. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, so with certain studies, how can you trust certain things?